Good morning, everybody, and welcome to FAQ Fridays. I want to talk about the test kits that are now available on my website. So if you go to bchamphealth.com and you click on products, you're going to notice the first line is test kits. And the test kits that I've been offering is available for you to do at home. You don't even need a consultation with me. Of course, it's always recommended to do a consultation so then I can help you interpret the test. But these are simple products that you can do yourself and mail it back to the lab. And the lab that I'm affiliated with is CanAlt Lab. This is based in Ontario and they're certified. You can look at their website. I'll include it down below. And you can just check out their credentials. So the first test kit that is very interesting to a lot of my clients is a food sensitivity test kit. Those people who are having digestive issues, inflammation could be caused from the food, your immune response to some of the food. And this actually generates a report that highlights 220 foods. So it's quite a big panel, and it will then color code it. It actually separates it into different food categories like dairy and meats and proteins. There's also gluten or non-gluten related grains. And so this one has, let's say the green, for example, is a marker that shows a normal response. The yellow is just sort of borderline, and the red is an elevated immune response. So for example, here, there's red next to egg white and there's red next to wheat. So if you were to go through this, you may be able to then look at what foods to avoid. And this is something that helps me create a more customized meal plan for a client so that we know how to avoid certain foods and then how to add it back in slowly so that your immune response is not going to be as triggered, so it becomes more sensitized to it. So that is the 200 plus test report, and you'll see it on my website. This actually requires only 2 drops of blood. It comes with, it's like a kit like this, and it comes with alcohol swabs and this little device that has a needle, and all you need to do is just press into your finger and drip out a drop of blood. And there's videos that I'll send you so you can see it. How it's done. And there's this little folder, you put your name on it, and you drop the blood right here on the 2 little circles, and then you just mail it back to the lab. It's as simple as that. And I'll even include a oh yeah, there's the envelope. So the envelope kind of looks like this, so I'll even include a stamp for you. So with the test kit you get tax included, shipping included. The other test kit that's very similar to this measures healthy fat levels. Instead of food sensitivity, you're giving a drop of blood and you're able to then detect how your omegas are, omega-3 especially, is divided into the DHA, the EPA. So it's called the omega score. And that test kit is used for people who have, let's say, a risk of cardiovascular issues or cognitive issues. So for cardiovascular health, it's really important to have more omega-3 and not as much omega-6. And so if you can detect earlier what your omega-3 levels are, you can then supplement and modify your diet accordingly. Same thing for cognitive health, for your brain health. It's really important to have those healthy fats because your brain is consisting of over 60% fat. So you want to make sure it's healthy fats in there. And this is the test for it. And it also exists for breast milk. So let's say if you're, first of all, if you're preparing for pregnancy, it's really good to get an omega score test to see if you have enough healthy fats to then provide the healthy growth of the fetus for their brain development, the nervous system especially. And then afterward, when you're breastfeeding, it's also good to get this test, but you can then provide breast milk instead of blood. And that could detect the level of omegas in the breast milk. So then you can, at the same time, you know, add the supplements, add the appropriate foods, so that your baby will be getting enough DHA and EPA. The other type of testing is hair mineral analysis. And this is really great because when you measure hair, when you clip a piece of hair and bring it to the lab, oftentimes they can see a 3-month period analysis of the minerals and the contents of your hair. And this shows not only just a snapshot in time, like a blood test just shows today what's happening today, right? So if you have a high cortisol today, it will show up on the blood test, but that doesn't mean that that's your normal state. But a hair analysis test gives you a 3-month vision or peak of what's going on in your if you have high heavy metals. So if there's a lot of like aluminum and mercury and cadmium, that will indicate something. If you have, let's say, low healthy minerals, so things like magnesium and zinc, that could also indicate, you know, certain health outcomes. And then the last thing is hormones. So if you have high cortisol or high testosterone, maybe you have low testosterone. I mean, it's great for men to measure it too. If they see that over a period of 3 months, the testosterone level is very low, you know, it shows maybe the impact on fertility, right? So I really think that this is very, very non-invasive. Just clip the hair as long as you wash it properly and it's not dyed, you know, recently. That would be the ideal way to clip it. And then for people who don't have enough hair to take, you could also use your nails, and then you can put it in a Ziploc bag, send it back to the lab, and the results will come to me. So that's also on my website. And the other thing I wanted to mention lastly is a saliva test. And I love that it's non-invasive. This is for genomic response. So how does your DNA, how does your gene response to food? And it's called Nutrigenomics. So again, if you go on my website, you'll see that. And there's a 15% discount for the month of March. And basically you get the test, you do it at home, you provide a saliva swab, and you ship it back to the lab. And it will show a 70 marker, a genomic marker of how your genes will respond to certain foods. So for example, vitamin A or beta carotene. You know, are you able to convert beta carotene to vitamin A properly? Do you have a risk of osteoporosis? How about things like B vitamins? Do you need methylated B vitamins because your body has that MTHFR gene, you know, or lacking that gene, for example? So it really does have a lot of input on your gluten tolerance and lactose tolerance, and even how, according to your DNA, how you respond to caffeine. Because as you may notice, some people can drink coffee and then fall asleep, and some people drink coffee and they're up all night, you know. So how does your body metabolize certain nutrients? And then with that information, you can, you know, go on and customize your meals. And this is something you only need to do once in your life because your DNA does not change. And so it's a blueprint really to how you can choose your food accordingly so that you optimize how your body responds to it. So that's all for today, everyone. I hope that you really enjoyed this and got some value out of it. I look forward to our next live together. Hope you have a wonderful Friday and a lovely weekend ahead. Take care, everyone. Bye.